Hey guys, my name's Chris. I'm just here to do an update from my last video because there's been some people who have messaged me privately and asked certain questions in regard to my brachial plexus injury that I dealt with from October 2018 till now. Date is January 20th of 2020. So I'm just going to go over a couple things real quick because these brachial plexus injuries are pretty fucking terrible. And if you're doing any type of contact or combat sport, martial arts, boxing, or even weightlifting, you may experience this. And what I've found, and the physical therapists I've talked to, and everything, sometimes the cases aren't as severe as mine was. So these episodes that people may or may not have, there's very little information on it out there. It's called different things, and they're underdiagnosed. So I just want to start off by saying, because I gave you guys my story in the last video and how I was all messed up mentally because I couldn't accept that I was hurt, and how I spent months because I was weak on my left side thinking I had ALS, which was a complete waste of time, by the way. I wouldn't suggest even going down that rabbit hole at all. So, brachial plexus injuries, how I got injured was in jiu-jitsu in a triangle choke. I made a really dumbass move. I tried to stand up when I was in the triangle choke, and I fell forward onto the right side of my head. The initial onset of the pain took right around 36 to 48 hours. And I felt tightness in my left trap down into the muscle that surrounds the scapular shoulder blade, the rhomboid. So I knew it didn't feel like it usually felt, and when I woke up in the middle of the night, that 36 to 48 hours later, it was literally the worst. It was the worst fucking pain that I had ever been in. At that point, I knew that there was something wrong. I had twitching underneath my shoulder blade, and the pain was dropping all down my arm, right? My pec was twitching, just everything. So there were red flags outside of weakness. And I think that most people's concern, right, and there's a lot of people out there selling magic elixirs to fix this, and that shit's not going to work. Weakness and that pain, that's what comes along with this injury. I can't stress enough, everything was affected, from my pec to my neck, all down my arm. I had radiculopathy, which that's a fancy medical term that just doctors use to convey that you have a shooting pain that goes down your arm. It was painful, and there was weakness, and there was instability, and my arm was rolled forward. So the pain and that weakness is the hallmark of what goes on with this. Now, I want to take a minute to talk about what I did or what I didn't do in between the time that I got injured and now. I had this obsession with trying to lift the amount of weight that I was lifting before I got injured, which probably made me prone to other injuries. I was still attempting to work out, so I had some imbalances between the left and right side, which I wouldn't recommend. Just drop the weight, right? You have nothing to prove to yourself. If you have, I couldn't accept the fact that if I had something wrong, that the professionals would have, steered me in that direction. But I did. I only worked with. I was only supposed to work with bands that the physical therapist gave me, which I think I have some in here. He would take my shoulder blade. Primarily, he was concerned with the serratus anterior, because that's the muscle that actually pulls the shoulder blade down. What I would do, I would practice my posture and just pushing forward and trying to keep my shoulder blade pinched back with these bands. And it was, I mean, you can look up how to do that. I'm not a medical professional, nor am I a physical therapist, so I'm not going to tell people how to work out. And I was also using bands just to try to strengthen up that left side. Um, it's it's slow healing though, so like I said in my last video, when you have this type of injury and you have one as bad as me, where my shoulders rolled forward, my pec's not flexing really, I had a big divot out of there, I had big divots multiple places out of my arms, mainly in my tricep. It was painful anytime I tried to do a bicep curl, and my even gripping, my pinky wasn't as strong as it had been previously. I could tell with my grip. And also my lat felt like jello, like literally everything on the left side, from here down the arm, down my back, even in the middle of my back, it was fucked. So, if you're healing from something like this, couple things that I've heard that could maybe help you heal quicker. First, eat a healthier diet, right? Those nerves need to heal, right? Don't drink alcohol. Apparently, when you have a nerve injury, alcohol is not your friend. And, when I heard that, I think that the consumption of alcohol right after I had this injury may have exacerbated the outcome of it. The other thing is, 3 years. Shit, that's a long time. Everybody heals at a different pace. Today's January, so month 3. I don't know, year 4, year 5 months. I'm coming up on. I still get some balling anytime I flex a certain way in my lat or in my tricep, because those muscles are starting to come back. I can tell you I can overhead press, a 50-pound kettlebell on the left side again. I can do pull-ups, which before my left arm was kind of screwed. But it is what it is. I guess if you're dealing with this type of injury, first thing you need to do is find a doctor and find a good physical therapist. If you got injured in a sport, MMA, boxing, whatever, I'll tell you what my professor told me, and this goes along with life. You're going to have setbacks. Life's unfair. It's wretched sometimes. If you get injured, don't give up on your dreams. If you like MMA or any type of fighting style, or you're a football player, it would be foolish for you to recover from something like this and not go back to what you love doing. If you can't take it mentally, then just find something else to do. Probably wouldn't recommend CrossFit or anything. Just do yoga or something. I don't know. But this is this injury is a long, long road, and I really wish that I would have documented how screwed up I actually was when I went through this, but I didn't. And there's really nothing to show right now, because although I have just a tad bit of wing when I hit complete exhaustion out of the left hand side, my scapula has receded. So I mean, there's hope. You'll probably heal in some rare instances, and you can find online. Some people actually don't come back from this, but that's where you'd have to consult with your medical doctors if you have a really bad episode or case. But hey, so now that I'm past this, I'll take questions. Feel free to shoot me an email or anything else. Follow me. I'm going to be doing some fasting and posting some workouts, because I'm fat right now. Like I said, I went from 167, I'm like 191, and I'm rolling into a 5-day fast. So that's going to be my next series of videos, just kind of going over if I can fast, what happens when I fast. I don't even know. Maybe I'll fast down to a fucking skeleton. Not really, but whatever. So I hope that helps. See you.